Hello everyone, this is Dev the Sunny Panda and welcome back to my playthrough of This is the Police. We had stopped on day 3 if I'm right. Yes, day 3, so let's continue. The Golden Bird says Francis Kendrick announces retirement date. Freeburg Tribune says construction of Cinema Museum postponed again. And the fact, Freeburg's #1 paper says legendary singer Gennaro Crespo comes to Freeburg. Seems like a good day. And we will be playing on Shift B, if I'm right. Shift A, okay. So your police officers ask for a day off if they're too tired. Sometimes officers will request days off even when they're at full strength. Some of the reasons you'll hear are far-fetched, while some are very serious. Don't overindulge, but don't antagonize. Okay, we'll try our best. The last few months, Roy asks, the last few months I've been taking antidepressants 3 times a day, but today I ran out of my prescription. The pharmacy said that they're getting more in tomorrow, but I'm afraid without the pills I'm not going to be much good. My mind keeps digging up all kinds of disturbing thoughts. Can I go home? No. In addition to the performance ratings, police officers also possess rank. Employees begin at the lowest rank and can be elevated in rank with 1, 2, or 3 stripes. Once a week, you can pass out stripes and improve the rank of any employee. If you think that no one is worthy of the honor some week, you can postpone the ceremony until later. Insignias won't go out until your people are ready. Alright, so we can always give them... employees of rank not only increase in professionalism but also learn to command. Whenever a ranking officer is on the scene, his or her colleagues are more likely to perform better than usual. Sometimes when cops gets rank, they start thinking more seriously about their service. This can mean less drinking and more time spent on the job. Some of them might even turn out to be dependable. How good. Do we want to give anyone a stripe? I think 2 on each shift should be fine, but we have only 2 stripes. I'm not sure if Shift A has anyone with stripes. So we shall save the stripes for now. And let's start our day. Freeburg isn't those cities where you listen to what they say or nothing at all. You can always select a song from your collection, play it at any time, just like in the real life. Well, the life of your grandfather. Okay, I'll have to... I'm not sure if I can play any of the tunes. Can I? I'll check this up. So today we'll okay, let's just go with this. We'll go with this. Don't you leave me here. And we are starting day 3. We're going to learn how to hire and fire cops. So we need to go into the Affairs tab, Police Station, Labor Market. We have certain job openings for which you can hire any available applicant. Job slots are separated between officers and detectives. Okay, so we... oh, I can't check my shifts. Okay. Lots of professionalism on Elias Vela. We'll hire him, her for shift, we'll go for shift B. Want to free up a slot? Time to fire somebody. Do we have to? Oh, I don't know to fire someone. Okay. We have, I think, Price and Roy are the most likely people to get fired. I added 1 to shift B, so I'm going to fire Price. If you have legal grounds for the termination, no one will ask any questions. You might need to fire them anyway. Legality be damned, but that could land you in additional proceedings. And your other staff will become more worried about keeping their jobs than they are about actually doing their jobs. Another way to free up a slot is to have a police officer killed, but that's not really a valid option, right? Right? We'll fire. Too old. Fire legally. Bye-bye, Price. Alright, I think so we can hire another officer. We did send one officer on shift B, and we fired one, so... We'll get one for shift B again, I think. Uh, Susie Gibbons is the logical choice, but I don't know what. Like, I'll go for Daniel for shift B, right? Yeah, shift B. And I think we have a spot for detectives as well. We have 3 detectives and 2 here, so we'll hire 1 detective. Let's get Alex Potter. You are hired for shift A, but he will come in only from the next shift A, I think. So let's answer our first call for today. It's a call for vandalism from St. John's Cathedral. Sorry, we received a frightened call from the local cathedral. This morning, the abbot discovered that someone entered the old cemetery during the night. The old yard's tombstones are painted with satanic symbols, and some have been broken into pieces. It seems there are even marks from a shovel, but the abbot would say no more. Alright, Robbins and Grant. Officer Robbins and Officer Grant, off you go on our first call today. Oh boy, day 3 is already a lot busier than day 2 with firing and hiring. We are getting a call about vandalism in the Atticus Tower. Businessman Harley Jones, looking out his window, saw 2 teenagers scratching offensive slogans on his new car. Officer Samadhi and Officer Burch. We have Burch, and Burch Jr. And Burch Jr. isn't really professional, is he? Off they go. I hope they can handle it. I'm not so confident about Burke's professionalism, but he does have Samadhi with him, Officer Samadhi. Vandalism report. Offender escaped. Oh no. Robbins and Grant didn't do well. A suspicious individual at Eddie's Burger. A waitress named Mila reports that she just served a chicken, Eddie, and a Diet Coke to a dangerous criminal who she'd seen on television just this morning. The culprit is sitting at the window eating a burger. Alright, so there can be false alarms. I feel this is a false alarm, so I'm sending Burch Jr. alone. In case it's not a false alarm, I have screwed up big time. Oh no. This is the complete opposite from shift B. We had 4 top on solved cases, solved calls, and we already failed 2 today. So Burch and Burch, probably Grant has okay professionalism. She should be fine. Yeah, okay. I knew, false alarm. The waitress had mistaken retired Officer Frank Nero for the fugitive in question. Alright. Oh boy. King Louis nightclub. Mr. Boyd, my bouncer stuffed himself with Mexican food again, and now he can't get off the can. Meantime, the line outside the club is stretching round the block. We need someone outside who can tell the cool guys from the punks. We have just the person for you, Sam. I don't know how well Roy's going to do at that job, but better than police job, of course. I presume better than police job. So we had 2 calls, or 2 calls, 1 false alarm. Okay, this is the 3rd call of the day. Christopher G. Sands Ice Arena, drug sales, and an anonymous call just came in. A clown carrying balloons at the skating rink is selling crack to teenagers. Okay, we need our top officers for this because we need a solved call today. We need a positive call today. It's all gone wrong. So Officer Stovall and Officer Vandal. Sorry, Chief, but I quit. In one night, I pulled in more cash than I earned in a month working at this dump. Mr. Sarkin said he wouldn't mind taking me on. I just wasn't cut out to be a cop. Good thing we didn't fire you, Roy. You're just gone. And we got $4,500 for that. Suicide threat. A naked man carrying a canister of gasoline has threatened to set himself on fire unless his favorite chewing gum business becomes popular again. Oh my god. Oh, we have one more opening. Let's get Susie Gibbons for shift A. Yeah. that worked out well. Roy has quit, and we get an officer with higher professionalism. And Shift B is turning out to be... Shift A rather is turning out to be quite disappointing. As police arrive, a clown is seen making balloon animals for the kids. Carefully watch the clown from the stands, take the clown into the ice and round up any witnesses, cover up in a raincoat and pretend to be an illicit customer.
1111.
Yes, offender caught, officers unharmed. Officer Stovall and Vandal, good job. Good job.
411.
We needed that. Suicide threat, officers Robbins and Samadhi have done it for us. They have come back with a positive. Let's end the day on that. Holy hell, that was a disappointing shift with some bad calls. But let's end the day, and hopefully day 4 is better. I mean, yeah. We also have to collect $500,000, I think, for our retirement fund. So we have 180 days for that. So we need to start making some cash. I don't know how we're going to do that. It's July 18th, Thursday, and the Golden Bird reports Robespierre to reveal his identity when the time is right. Freiburg Tribune feminist organization denied official registration. And the fact says enemies using feminists to destroy Freiburg. What? Okay. Seems like it's going to be a hot day. It's going to be... I can feel it.
Whenever I'm alone at home and there's a knock at the door, I always hope it'll be my wife, Laura. She's always forgetting her keys.
Hello, my name is Steve, and you're Jack Boyd, is that right?
To get to my front door,
Ouch.
the Bible boys walked about a mile from the local bus stop, jumping over mud puddles and skirting a couple of landfills. Laura doesn't go in for religion either, but according to her, these brave lunatics with their fake smiles deserve at least a minute of attention. She patiently listens to them, asks them questions, regales them with pastries, and never once dropping a hint of condescension. When I watch her do it, I've got to admit it gets me. I'd have hugged those boys, sat with them on the porch and lit up a cigar. But a month after Laura left, all I could do was quietly ask them not to bother me. Today I'm a little rougher still. Shut the door on his nose this time. Another couple weeks at this rate and I'll be greeting anyone who comes close with my service pistol pointed towards the sky, ready to fire my warning shots. In my life, even the basic stuff never goes like it's supposed to. Normally, when a wife is going to leave home, she'll make a scene or at least sit everyone down for a serious conversation. But Laura just disappeared. The children in the stories always stand on the side of the mother, but all 3 of our sons supported me. The in-laws always blame the husband for making their daughter unhappy. But now Sally, Laura's mother, well, we sort of have a pact. The fellow Laura ran off with is young enough to be her son. I hear he's 30 years old. Of all the possible information a man can know about his wife's lover, I get hit with that. Fortunately, Laura's mother doesn't like the way it sounds either. Sally figures this guy just thought he'd have some fun with a mature woman, but he'll be back chasing college girls before the year is out. So we have an agreement. Sally's gonna track down Laura and try to reason with her, and we'll arrange a meeting. Meanwhile, I'm supposed to not do anything stupid, which of course means anything at all. It's a crazy situation. I'm the police chief, and the person I'm trusting to find my wife is an old woman armed with a phone book. But I can't afford to lose Sally as an ally. So for the moment, I had to swallow my pride.
Hello.
Mrs. Markham, this is Boyd.
Oh, is there any news?
That's what I wanted to ask you. Have you found anything? An address, phone number? Have you spoken to her?
Don't worry, Jack. I've narrowed the range to 2 suspects, or whatever you like to say at your police building.
Cheeky.
At my police building, we find people faster than a funny old woman chirping on the phone with my wife's girlfriends.
Oh, you're an old man, Jack. come to your senses. They'd give us straight odds on the street. But I've got more energy, Jack. Maybe you think I'm a foolish old woman, but I go to my book club, argue with the girls about Byron, and it gives me energy. I talk to my dogs, and it gives me energy.
Gives me
and you
energy.
have nothing, Jack. You don't even have a hobby. You got no passion. It's why Laura left you.
Let's not go back into that, Sally. Find my wife, and we can discuss my hobbies later. I'm waiting for your call, and my patience is running thin. Laura, if you've stopped loving me, I'll let you go. I can't expect the impossible from you. Just don't let me die out here, okay?
Wife problems. Well, can't say much about that. Birdie didn't come into work today. No reason why. Officer Purdy. No. Stripes. I feel we can give one to our detectives. Let's give one to Armstrong. Alright, because we have 2 striped officers, but no detectives on stripes, with stripes on shift B, and neither do we have any detectives with stripes on shift A. So probably we'll go for that. Let's just go without a song today. Day 4. Reporting in for duty as the chief of police, and we already have a first call. Destruction of property, City Hall parking lot. A member of the city's cleaning crew saw an elderly man approaching some expensive cars in the parking lot carrying a long iron rod. The whole street could hear him shouting, "Bastards, thieves, bloodsuckers." Alright, so we'll send out Officer Kochi and Officer Beards. How do you pronounce his name? I'll just call him Officer B. Alright. If someone commits a serious crime and flees the scene, the case goes to your detectives. So we get our first detective action in the game. Investigation slots. They investigate the crime scene, and they, as in detectives, interview witnesses and gather whatever information seems pertinent. One of your detectives will be lead investigator on the case. You can assign additional detectives to any case who will work under the lead investigator as subordinates. The more professional the lead investigator, the more effective the team. Alright, so we'll have Armstrong lead because he has a stripe, and Maul as the supporting detective. Let's proceed. So we have got an order from the city hall. A racist gang has recently made some trouble in the city. They're capturing black townspeople and beating them to death. They recently sent a message to a local radio station promising to kill all black doctors, firemen, and police. We don't need any more dead police, especially not mere months before the election. The racists are gaining more and more followers, and even some of our citizens support them. What? You'll have to fire all your black employees over the next few days due to mounting racial tensions. I'm not going to do that. City Hall, you can take your order and shove it up where the sun don't shine, but I'm not doing that. As the police chief, I've got the back of my officers, and I'm not going to fire them based on their color. Carjacking in the suburbs. A gas station surveillance camera recorded a car that's on the stolen vehicle list. So we get Yancy and Tsubaki. Go out there, handle the situation well, my officers. The investigation preliminary work has started. Detectives have interviewed witnesses, collected evidence from the scene, and are pursuing the investigation. Expect results. Okay, so clues by Mr. Graham. Eric Graham, a drunk witness, said they drove by in a sedan and they shot like a machine gun. I didn't see much. Okay. Mr. Clayton says I only heard a few muffled shots. So that's okay. Lawrence says he got what he deserved. He'd been causing trouble for a long time, and recently there's been lots of cursing and carrying on. Okay. Miss Cobb says, I don't remember the car, and the neighborhood was quiet. I never heard any shots. So that's some contradiction there. And the carpenter says, Mr. Carpenter says, the police these days don't do nothing. I almost died myself. I went to buy some medicine and was nearly hit by some idiot's car. So we do know that they drove by in a sedan. They shot him there are contradicting statements about the kind of shots that were fired. Some say it was they didn't hear anything. Some said it was a minigun. Some said it was muffled shots. So we got nothing to go on as of now. It's just work's begun. We leave our detectives to it. Destruction of property. Kochi and Officer B caught the offender and are unharmed. Good job. Good job. Already a better day than yesterday. Crazy day yesterday. We are oh my god, I just forgot what to speak. We are responding to our other call, which they just reached. The driver is nowhere to be seen in the suspicious car. Wait at a safe distance for the driver to appear. Search the car. Interview any potential witness. We'll wait at a safe distance. Yes, Yancy and Tsubaki caught the offender, unharmed officers, and no civilians harmed. That's good. We have another call of a suspicious individual at Desire Park. Corey Ramsey, mother of several children, has expressed her concerns about a suspicious man wearing bifocals seated on a bench beside a playground. He's been watching the children for over an hour and has taken several photographs of them. It's time for the B team. Officer Kochi and Officer B. They're probably enough to handle this case of possible pervert. But let's see. It could be a false call. Maybe the guy's clicking photographs of something else. Oh no, it was an offender. Okay, good job, officers. Mr. Kazuki Tumara at the Dragon's Lair Club calls us and says, Mr. Boyd, I'm opening Freeburg's first martial arts club, and for my first exhibition, I want to hold a sparring match where one of my students takes on your toughest cop. After the fight, I'll teach your man a few tricks, something that will help him out in the streets. Officer Austin, it's your time to shine. You may not be our best, but you are all we have. Actually, we have others too, but I don't want to send them out for... that too. Homicide report. Okay, your detectives present frames different versions of what might have happened at the crime scene. Alright, open investigation. They get it wrong half the time, but a good cop can separate from fiction. If they know how to look at case materials, the more professional the detectives working on an investigation, the better their instincts. Okay. To get your suspects, you'll need to figure out the true sequence events of the crime scene using the frames you think likely, sometimes with a little guesswork thrown in. There will be a lot of guesswork thrown in. Okay, so they drove by in a sedan. I only heard a few muffled shots, lots of cursing and carrying on. I don't remember the car. The neighborhood was quiet. I never heard any shots. Okay, so there was a car and there was some... medicine. Okay. Can it just be this simple? No. Oh, we did it. When an investigation pans out, you'll have yourself a suspect. Sometimes there's more than one, but in this case, your detectives have narrowed it down to a single candidate. The suspect is Travis Horton, a known racist who already has several previous convictions. Alright, good job. We can arrest him now, I think. Yeah. Your detectives have information on the whereabouts of the suspect. Sometimes there might be a number of locations to choose from. Alright, to carry out the arrest, 2 officers must escort the lead investigator to apprehend the suspect. If the lead investigator is not on duty, the arrest will have to wait. But remember that fugitives won't sit patiently until your schedule clears. Okay. Also remember that criminals will react in a different ways. A frightened thief is likely to surrender as soon as the game is up. A brutal killer might want to see just how many he can take with him. So it's safer to send this SWAT with some experienced officers. Okay, so Vela and Yancy along with the SWAT. This may be an overkill, but they are going to arrest Mr. Travis for the brutal murder of I forgot his name already. Whatever. Fight at Kevin's Throat Bar. A bartender reports that a couple dancers started fighting over tips, and a cat fight broke out right on stage. Team B, this sounds like the perfect job for you. A fight at the Octopus restaurant. A bartender reported that the fight has broken out between a patron and the bar's bouncer. The man, apparently drunk, had climbed onto the stage while a local singer was performing and tried to sing a duet with her. We have only Officer Tsubaki and Asano for this, so we're sending them out. Chief, I just about nailed the jab a couple times, but he was too fast for me and won on points. I don't really understand all their rules, so I can't keep track of points very well, but he was alright. He even showed me a few tricks after the match. I got carried away a little and pulled my back. Think I can take a day off? You can, and you leveled up in experience. Crazy. So good job, Officer Austin. Let's see if we apprehend this murder suspect. That should be a day after that. We'll call it a day after.
Looks like we have a situation here.
On the stage are two strippers going at it, and it's gone beyond arguing to a full-on catfight. The bouncer is fast asleep, clearly too wasted to handle the situation. The drunk patrons are happily watching the fight. Draw your service weapon, shut off the music, and turn up the light. Listen, girls, cut the crap, or this is going to get serious. Let's go with the stern talk. The strippers continue fighting, oblivious of the police presence. Ask the bartender for a bucket of cold water and throw it on the combatants. Watch strippers go at it. Don't interfere. That's going to cause a casualty. Step onto the stage and try to separate. Yeah, we'll do the cold water. Good job. Team B. Offender caught. Officers unharmed. They are on a roll. Okay, homicide report. Offender caught. Good job. Armstrong leveled up. Vela leveled up. Yancey leveled up. And Maul leveled up too. Holy hell. That was a good day. That was a good day. We're waiting on the response from another call as well. Another bar fight. Offender caught, officers unharmed, and Tsubaki and Asano have done well. Alright. We are going to end the day there. And that was a successful shift. That was a successful shift. Yeah, it was a successful shit, guys. I just took the best shit of my life. Anyways, thank you for joining in. I'll continue this next time. Hope you enjoyed. Leave me a comment on anything I can improve on. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.